Hey y'all, it's JB. I'm going to try to keep this quick, although I never succeed at that. I want to apologize in advance if I inadvertently get really loud or if my energy gets weird. I've been fighting a low-grade migraine all day, so I have a lot of caffeine in my system. So if I seem like really weird and jacked up, that's why. Two things. My birthday is next month. It's a little less than a month away now. I'm going to be turning 41. I am trying to save up money to do something for my birthday. My stomach is being so noisy right now. I apologize if that's getting picked up. But I've been given the opportunity to get up to 10 days in a row at the beginning of the month away from my kids. Obviously, I love my kids. I love spending time with them. But having the opportunity to actually go away for an extended period of time, that's not something I get to do very often, so I want to take advantage of it. I want to do something special. I'm not 100% sure yet what I'm going to be doing, but one way or another, I want to do something, even if it's just like an extended camping trip here in Texas or something. We'll see. But in an effort to save up money for it, I wanted to do a little sale on my online shop. Some of you probably already know that I have a shop. Some of you may not. I have an online shop. Now you know. I currently have a bunch of earrings that I made myself, a cool necklace that I made, personalized postcards that I can write to you, enamel pins, and then there are also hats like beanies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and stickers. Also, just today I figured out that there's this feature on Fourth Wall, the company that I use to host my shop, where I can send a little video greeting or a video thank you to people who've made purchases. So I'm going to start taking advantage of that to people who make purchases. If you've already made a purchase from the shop in the past, I will try and catch up on those and send you all some as well. So if you have any interest in any of that stuff, buying something from the shop, getting the video thank you, I created a little promo code, Bday Sale 25, and that will get you 25% off all of the postcards, the jewelry, and the enamel pins. It doesn't apply to the stickers, hats, t-shirts, or sweatshirts. Those are things that are manufactured and mailed by another company, and I set the profit margins on those. They're pretty narrow just because I wanted them to be more accessible to all of you. So if I offered 25% off those items, I would actually wind up, I think, basically paying you to buy them. So I'm really sorry that the 25% off isn't available for those, but that's why. However, I did make a separate code for those items. It's Bday Sale 10. So if you specifically wanted to buy one of those items, you can still get a little discount. And if you're a Patreon patron of mine, you will be getting a separate discount code, so keep an eye out for that. It's for a little bit more. So that's all for the first item of this video. Saving up for a birthday trip next month, and therefore I'm doing a little sale on my shop. If any of you are interested in making purchases, now's a great time to do it because you can get a little discount on everything. The second part is where this is maybe going to become a little bit of a short vlog, so if you're not interested in that, that's fine. Don't worry about it. This isn't really something where I'm asking anyone to do anything. However, I have noticed over the years that I have just a lot of really smart, thoughtful, compassionate people who leave comments on my videos. So I guess I'm just sort of crowdsourcing thoughts and maybe advice here. I don't want to get into this too much because I don't want it to get emotional or sad, but I've been making ASMR videos on YouTube for almost 9 years now, and for pretty much the whole way I have done it with this ultimate big goal in mind. My thought being that if I could just kind of get my act together and make my output here on YouTube frequent enough, consistent enough, and high quality enough, that if I could just do that consistently for an extended period of time, like a year or more, then my channel might start to see the growth that some of the big channels, some of the bigger ASMR channels do. You know, the dream has been that this channel would become profitable enough that I could reach a certain level of financial independence. The way it is now and the way it's been for years and years has been, it's like a part-time job that pays really well. And based on a number of factors in my life with me and my situation, it's really just been the best option for me for a really long time. The flexible schedule, the passive income, the fact that if something comes up with my mental health or with my kids' needs, having to miss work isn't as big of a deal. Missing work for those things and not making videos, it definitely affects me, but not the way that it would if I were like constantly having to call out or make other arrangements with like a conventional job. So this is a good situation for me, and I'm very lucky to have it. But I'm also just recently sort of coming to terms with the fact that what I've always dreamed of making happen with this channel is just not going to happen. Again, based on a number of factors in my life, a lot of which I don't share with y'all, and that's fine. I have just never been able to produce content with the kind of consistency that like a big, successful YouTube channel can. And I don't want anyone to start worrying I'm not going anywhere. This is more just a thing where I'm finding myself trying to come to terms with this idea that my sort of big ultimate goal with YouTube, I think I need to come to terms with the fact that it's just not feasible for me with who I am in my life situation. And two things are true, and the important thing is that can be okay. I can adjust to the idea that at best, and I know there are many different ways to measure success and what that means, and I want to be really clear that I know this channel has been beautifully successful on many levels that have nothing to do with like numbers and money and subscribers and things like that. But realistically, in terms of numbers, I think I need to start getting used to the idea that this channel is just always going to be at best a mid-size YouTube channel that is going to be a helpful source of income for me, but it's never going to be like a huge moneymaker. There are so many other reasons why I love having this as my job. So I know in my head and in my heart that there are all these reasons why this shift in how I look at things can be okay and might even feel great in the long term and might feel like the best thing that ever happened to me to some extent. I think I'm just going through a period right now where it's a little painful, and there's maybe just a little bit of mourning. Having had these goals for so many years and having attempted, it feels like 100 different ways over the years to try and organize and work around my various issues and complications. I like to talk about chaos factors. I think any given person can have all sorts of things in life that can force you to pivot any plans that you have at the last minute. If you have children or other dependents, those are chaos factors, right? Because you might have a plan that you have to change at the last moment because something comes up with them. Having a pet, having a chronic illness, having other people who are close to you who might have needs that come up urgently and unexpectedly at times. Depending on where you live in the world, there might be other external chaos factors. If you have mental health problems like I do, those are chaos factors. But over the past year or so, I've been kind of coming to terms with how many chaos factors I have in my life, and that despite the extraordinary amount of work that I've put into my work over the past few years trying to get organized and trying to get my act together, that there's just no end in sight. There's no end in sight to these complications. It's just the way my life is. My kids aren't going anywhere. My personal issues are, they get better, they get worse, but they're there. So while I'm definitely not going anywhere and this is going to continue to be my job, and I love the idea of still making these videos when I'm 70. I don't know. I'm one of those rare lucky people who, if I were to win the lottery tomorrow, I know 100% I would not quit my job. I would probably just hire some people to help me with making my content so that I could make more of it more easily. And I know not many people would say that they would keep their job if they won the lottery. So again, that's something I feel very lucky with. But I'm also just working right now on coming to terms with making a big, kind of painful, but I think necessary pivot as far as how I look at this channel and what my goals for it are. So as I'm making this adjustment, I've been reading a lot of articles that are like, how do you know when it's time to give up on a goal? Which sounds really harsh, but it's necessary sometimes, right? And there are so many opinions out there and different ways of thinking of it and different metrics by which you would measure, like, if this happens, if this happens, if this happens, then that's when you know it's time to shift or to move on. You know, and opinions, I know, range from everywhere from like, never give up on your goals no matter what, to, honestly, if it's stressing you out, pivot right away. And there's like a whole spectrum in there of ways to look at it. So just because I've gotten some really amazing feedback from you all before, if any of you have any thoughts or advice on how to think about those things, I guess the question being, if someone came to you and told you that they had a big goal that they had been going after for years and years, and they've gotten to a point where they think it really just might not be possible to achieve that goal. And if they're saying, A, I want to decide for sure if I should give up on this goal, what do you think I should think about when I'm making that decision? Like, what should I weigh against that, or what should I be looking for? And B, if I do decide that I need to shift this goal, do you have any advice for how I should think about that and how I should approach it? What questions I should ask myself, things like that. I don't know. So yeah, I guess this is just me using my platform to sort of ask for advice. But I figure since it's directly related to something that you're all pretty invested in, at least to some extent, I thought that would be okay. And to some extent, I like including you all in my thoughts and my process in this channel. I think in this channel, more so than a lot of other channels out there, viewer interaction and requests, they shape the content and the direction of this channel in a meaningful way. I've always felt like y'all are co-creators to an extent on this channel, and I love that. I'm so thankful that I have viewers who can do that with me. And I'm just sure this is something that a lot of you have been through, where you were working really hard for something for a long time, and then maybe you had to reconsider it one way or the other. And if that's something you have experience with or thoughts about and you want to share, I'd love to hear them. If you wouldn't mind, please, I'd love it. So yeah, I think that's it to that part. Just a little personal update on this channel and my approach to it and how I'm looking at it right now. And there's a sale in the shop. Thank you so much to all of you who have stuck around for this whole video and listened to the whole thing. Even if you don't have anything to say, it's just nice to have you here. I hope you'll check out the shop if it's something you're interested in and it's something you can comfortably afford right now. And I love your thoughts on big life goals and how to handle it when it becomes time to possibly reevaluate them. Okay, thank you. I have a couple of different ASMR videos in the works, and I'll hopefully have a new one out for you within the next few days. I truly do love y'all. You're wonderful. I'm so thankful to have such an awesome audience of viewers. I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.